Hey folks, Dave back here in Studio B and jumping on tonight, and we want to talk about something here. And let me get my banner up here, and I gotta edit the banner. I didn't have the banner ready. So, what I want to talk about tonight is planning versus playing. And what I mean by that is, um, I every day I think about a new project. We all do. We all have products that we want to do, and there was I was looking at should I pick up a new season here or what game am I going to do or this or that, and so it just got me thinking: is can planning be as fun as playing? Because we all have fun when we play our games and the whole bit, but sometimes it is kind of fun to sit there and when a new season comes out, let's say, or a new game comes out or something like that. And myself, I'm very new to tabletop gaming, so there's still a lot of games that I haven't played. But today I actually talked to the author of this book right here, J. Thomas Hetrick. We had a nice chat this afternoon offline. And it just got me thinking about all the baseball games I play. He's like, "You play that many baseball games?" I says, "Yeah, I do. I like playing baseball games." And now that I've picked up this book here, actually, it was sent to me by Stephen Walker, the A Whole New Ball Game by Stephen Walker. I have this one here, and I have Crazy '08. So I get two books about baseball seasons that I need to stop playing. Excuse me. And it just got me thinking about planning a project versus playing a project. And just in case you're interested here, let me take this banner down for a second here. Let me show you my new cam. So I have the Elgato face cam over here. I'm going to put this on for a second and see what you think. I was using that for my overhead stuff, but let me know what you think here. So if I go to my settings and I change it to the Elgato face cam, so it's kind of off to the side, but this is how the face cam looks. So I'm wondering if that's like a better quality picture. Not that you need to see my mug on here, but I mean, I didn't know if the quality was any better than the Logitech. But that's the Elgato face cam, in case you're wondering how it looks on a person, because I've only had it on the desktop. So that's the new camera right there. I'm going to go back to the one here that I'm going to face you and see you at here. But yeah, it's a quick look at the new camera there as Slash Deep Gaming drops by. So let's talk about this for a second. Planning your project. It's super fun, right? So you're sitting there and you're like, okay, now I can play anything Bobby Orr. Okay, really, anything Bobby Orr I'll play. But sometimes, like I say, we had Stephen Walker on. We talked about his book. I'm going to probably play the 69 season. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't know what. I have a couple of ideas what I'm going to do. Do I want to purchase a new APA season? I don't think Strat has it in stock, so that's kind of off the board. I don't know if Season Ticket has it. I know Back to Basics has it. Status Pro I can play. So what do I want to play in? What do I want to play 1969 in? What do I want to play 1908 in? How am I going to play 1908? Am I just going to do a game of the week? Or am I going to pick one team and play it through? Am I going to play it in Digital Diamond? Am I just going to, what am I going to do? And that's half the fun is when we, oh yeah, you like the shirt around the layout dropped in. Did you get all your games in today? I hope you got all your games in today because I know in your area it was raining. Yeah, no, it's the call doesn't choke. Yeah, I bought this. I bought two Rangers shirts and a hat when they played the Canadians in the conference finals. What was that, 10 years ago? Because I was rooting for the Rangers to beat the Canadians. So I bought a whole bunch of Rangers stuff. And I do like the Rangers anyway, by the way. So I'm trying to plan out 69 and '08 on top of all the other things I'm doing. I still need to get back to my 78 Red Sox full season replay and the whole bit, So, Ray, I don't know if Ray, did you catch the Elgato face cam? If you didn't see that, let me know, and I'll pop it back on to show you. I'll pop it on anyway, just in case. So this is my Logitech Brio, and this is my new Elgato face cam. Okay, now it's off to the side, and the lighting's kind of weird, but this is the one I was using for my overhead stuff. So I don't know if that's clearer or better than the Logitech Pro. Now, again, it's still 720 here on StreamYard. I haven't increased that quality at all. But that's the Elgato face cam that I was using for my overhead stuff. So interested to see what you guys think about that. At some point, I'd like to bump up the StreamYard to the next level, but it's a good jump in price. So for right now, I don't need it. Let me see. Frank says planning can be just exciting as playing. He's playing Filsinger Wrestling when the new set comes out. I think I'm going to. When the new set comes out, I think how they will fit in with my Feds I run, the Federations he runs. Okay. Larry stops by. Fanner does as well. And Todd's waiting for the overhead drone footage. yeah, right. But I'm trying to plan this out, and I'm having fun with it. You go to Baseball Reference, you look around, you get an idea, who's on the team, what team you might want to play, and I find that, I could, during the course of a day, I could plan 100 projects. Now you'll never get to them all in the whole bit. And, usually as it goes for me, I look and I nail down what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this team and this year, blah, blah, blah. And then out of the blue, something comes up and I say, okay, I'm going to go do this. Like I started to play the 1978 Cleveland Barons, 77-78 Cleveland Barons with shootout hockey. I'm going to play the whole season. I've only played a couple of games, and I did post the recaps for that. But that just come out of the blue. So sometimes planning a project is not so much what team or what year I want to play, but what game engine do I want to use? And I haven't played shootout in a while, so I pulled it out and I started playing some shootout hockey, and it's like, oh man, this is fun. And again, if I put a nickel in the jar every time I said I need to play this game more, I'd be rich right now because that's all I say. Because I have so many great games to play, and I don't know which one to play next. And that's the great thing is I come down here, it's like, do I want to play baseball, hockey, football, basketball? What do I want to play? What game do I want to play? Even the golf now. I see I got the app of golf behind me here, and I've been playing some of that. And so I try to, planning the project can be kind of fun. Now, playing is obviously the ultimate. That's what we want to do. We sit, we roll the dice, we get the results, and we have a blast with it. You know what I mean? And then you share your results with other people. You talk about, hey, this is what's going on with this project here. Myself, by accident, I had my first no-hitter here showing off this, the new Elgato camera there. The Elgato camera brought me luck. It got me my first no-hitter. That wasn't a project. That was just a one-off. But, but that's the other thing, too, is I like to just do the one-off. Like, I get the itch to play a game. Like, I'll say, okay, I haven't played Apple Hockey, so I'll get back here, and I'll pull out a couple of teams, and I'll just play one game. Just one game, and I'll put in whoever I want to play. It's not a project. It's not an as played. It's just, every now and then I go to the pile of shame and I pull out a couple of teams and I play a game, and it makes it, not only is it fun, but it does make me feel better because I feel like I can kind of justify that purchase a little bit more. When you buy season, I get excited, as you know, and when I do a lot of work and then the checks come in, it's like, okay, I'm going to take some of my extra money here that I made working my tail off, and I'm going to buy some things. And that's kind of how I do it. So I go in waves, whereas, when I get a lot of work, then I can spend some money on the games. And I'll buy a bunch, and I'll try to save on shipping and get a sale or whatever. But inevitably, whatever, the seasons I don't play. And they sit there. And every now and then I look at them, and it burns me that I had ideas for projects for that season. It's still sitting there, or it's in the box over here for Strat, or it's a PDF here on the computer that I haven't done anything with yet. And it's like, something, I need to do something with this. I need to do a project with this, and so I will. I'll just pull it out and bang out a game or two and just, that. So I like my one-offs, but every now and then I want to, the one-offs are great, but you do like to have a reason to play a game or a project. You know what I mean? Whether it's just, hey, I want to play the World Series, I want to play the Stanley Cup, I want to play, Mario Lemieux's last game, Gump Worsley's last game, whatever it is. You have an idea what you want to do with something, and sometimes you don't. But when I'm planning out a project, it's fun because you start reminiscing, and you go to, like I say, Hockey Reference, Baseball Reference, you have your choice of website, and you start seeing the names and the teams about the teams that you want to play, and it gets you excited to play. And you're like, okay, do I have that season? What game do I have that season in? Do I want to play this game? Do I want to play that game? What I want to do. And it's just, it's all good. It's kind of like planning what you want for dinner. Where do you want to go out to dinner tonight? We can go anywhere tonight. You want Italian, you want Chinese, you want burgers, you want steak, what do you want? And it all sounds good. And so you planning to go out to dinner is almost as much fun as going out to dinner. It really is. Fenner says he's playing the Mariners 1985 ALDS against the Yankees in pocket pennant run. That's when I became a Mariners fan with Griffey. Yep, absolutely. Frank says he's playing the 1993 Phillies with Replay Baseball. He loves that Philly team. Exactly. And wasn't it fun planning that product? Now, you're playing it, and it's fun. But when you were sitting there, like, man, I like this team. So you guys are talking about your favorite teams there, the runs that they had in the playoffs or whatever. And you're like, something? I'm going to go play that. And it isn't planning that out really fun because it's like driving to Wally World. It's like, can't wait to get to Wally World. And the drive is half the fun. It really is. And Fenner says, I just played shootout hockey with the fast action cards, and I love that game. Yes. Yep. They're great. In fact, I don't have my cards here. I don't think. I just bought, well, maybe I do. I just bought the fast action cards. Yeah, I haven't even opened them yet, actually. Oh, boy. So I just ordered the fast action cards from drive-thru. When I put in a Hockey Bones order, I ordered these from drive-thru. So I haven't even opened them yet. So I have one set of these, but I ordered a second set, and you can see how gorgeous they are. They really are. They're really, really nice. So I ordered a second set so I could play, because I usually use the helper, but now I have two decks, so now I don't have to shuffle as often when I play this game. So I bought one set with the nice background and one set. These should just be, I haven't looked yet, but they should just be the blank backgrounds, or the white background, I should say. And I spend the extra buck and get the case. It really is worth getting the case if you go to drive-thru cards. But the $20, and it's so much fun, when you're playing shootout hockey with the fast action cards. I agree. Have I tried History Maker Golf? Yes. Oh, yes. I've played History Maker Golf, and I really do like. Oh, I got a little thing here. I really do like History Maker Golf. The only thing about History Maker Golf that's different than APA, I will say, is APA is a thinking man's shot-by-shot game where you really need to plan out your shot, and there's so many variables and options in APA Golf that you can play. You can have the course, be hard or soft, the greens, whatever. I don't know about the greens, but the course is hard or soft. The wind factor in there. Each hole on each course might have different options for it. If you hit it to the right side of the fairway, it rolls off. Things like that. So you really got to plan your shot and then hope that you get a good dice roll with APA Golf. History Maker Golf, there's some planning in there, but it's not a shot-by-shot game. But it does play a lot quicker than APA, and it's a lot easier than APA Golf. It's just you don't have that shot-by-shot detail. But yes, I played History Maker Golf. If I was going to play a tournament, History Maker Golf was what I would play, because you can really get a full tournament in, whittling down the players for the first 3 days, and then going into day 4 with just the people on the camera, and even you whittle those down too. That is an absolute blast, and that's something that I won't do in APA Golf, because you'd have to play everybody shot by shot, and you'd be 10 years playing a tournament. So with APA Golf, I'm planning. We talked about planning versus playing. I'm planning some projects, and I think what the Replay Gamer did, I was watching him do something, and I think it was in ASG Golf, and he took, I think it was Mickelson, I want to say, and he played the final round with Mickelson. And he knew what he had to shoot to win the tournament. So he just played the one golfer. He played the 18 holes on I think it was the final day. That's the way to do it. So you're like, okay, I'm starting the tournament. I need to shoot -2 to win the tournament by 1, or whatever the result of the tournament was. Let's just say he won by 2 shots. Okay, I need to shoot at least X to win this tournament. If I don't, then I got to go into a tiebreaker with, Joe Schmo or whoever. That would be the way to play the golf. Or what I want to do with the golf is take 2 golfers and then another 2 golfers and play a best ball. Each tee off and then take the best shot, and then tee off, take the best shot. So that would be a good way to learn the game, because you could, if one went way off to the side, you could just continue playing with the better ball. That's why it's called best ball. So at least you could learn some of the basic mechanics of the game while doing that. So I think that's one of the projects I'm going to do, is a best ball tournament with the 4 golfers there. But again, planning that's going to be fun. Which golfers do I want to use? Do I want to take, I got different sets of golfers. Do I want to take the 85 golfers and play the 2000 golfers? Or do I want to play the 2000 golfers against the 2021 golfers? That's where it really becomes fun planning out the project, And Frank comes back and says, I am planning to play the 2005 Notre Dame football schedule with a few tweaks using Whoa Nelly college football. I've never played the Whoa Nelly, but I imagine it's pretty fun, though. But yeah, I mean, that's the fun you get is, okay, what am I going to play here? Who am I going to play? Why am I going to play? I have so many projects going on right now. I probably have 20. If I really go back and look, I got 20 projects that I've started. And the longer ones, I tend to either never finish them or they're just kind of sitting there. Again, there's no hurry. I started in payoff pitch. I started the 86 Clemens to see how Clemens would do. And I got through 3 or 4 games, and that's where that kind of sputtered out. I also, with Ultra Quick Hockey from Downey, I was playing Wayne Gretzky in the Edmonton Oilers in 82. And that's a quick play game, but you get stats. So what I wanted to do is play all 82 games of the Oilers to A, see how they did score-wise, and B, see how many points Gretzky got. I'm not keeping any other stats except for Gretzky, and I want to see how he does. And I'm through 6 or 7 games with that, and then I haven't played that in several months. So I have a lot of little products off to the side that every now and then it's like, I'm going to pull that out and play a game of that and get back into that because it is kind of fun, But I find that planning, it can be a lot of fun. It really can. And I know we like playing our games in a whole bit, and there's nothing like playing them. But sometimes it's the anticipation of it. And we talked about anticipation, waiting for games to show up. Well, sometimes it's the what do I want to play here? That type of thing. And that I find enjoyable to me. And we talk about that on the show. And me and Ron will talk offline, and I'll be like, and we'll talk about something. And I forget what it is. And they'll be like, oh, do you know that this guy hit 10 home runs or this guy scored 5 goals and or whatever it was. And it's like, I should really, really think about playing that game, and playing that team or, I think one thing I did was one of my favorite football games, and I was talking to this guy here right here. I'm going to pimp his book again, J. Thomas Hetrick, the Spiders book there. I was talking to him today. And I said, I play a lot of different games. And I says, one game I played, it's probably my favorite football game to play because it's real easy, is momentum football. But if you want to play an accurate game, it's not, I don't think it's that accurate. I think it's, at least the games that I played, when I played my 76 Buccaneers, it was really weird. They won games they shouldn't have won. Again, the Pittsburgh Steelers cannot beat the Buccaneers in momentum football to save their life. At least, they're 0 for 2. Now, again, if I played again, the Steelers would probably win, but just how it goes, that's just how it went. So that game there, there's a lot of turnovers in that game I found. But it's fun. It's so fun. So I pulled that out, and on the Easter sale, I picked up a couple of seasons for it, and one of them was 2016. So I'm playing the 2016 playoffs. And I've already had a couple of upsets. I will say I've had a couple of upsets in the game, and it's been fun. And again, I don't know how. I think it's probably one of the least accurate football games I got because some of the things just don't make sense. But it's enjoyable to play, and I still play it. So when I bought the season, I said, "Dan, I got to plan a project with that." So I says, "I'll tell you what. That's the year that I think New England went and played Atlanta in the Super Bowl. Let's play the playoffs and see what happens." And that's what I'm doing. And already I got some different matchups going into the next round. So we'll see how that goes. But it was fun planning that, when I'm sitting there on Easter week, and I'm like, okay, Downey's got their Easter sale. I need to pick some things up. What am I going to get? And I says, I like momentum football. I'm going to pick up a season or 2 of that. I really do. I don't know why. That game just rings a chord with me. It's just so simple to play. And I just like that game. I do. Let's see here. Fenner is saying, I'm planning out the 1985-86 playoff run for the Whalers in shootout. That should be fun. That should be really fun. And 007 says, I just picked up Inside Pitch Baseball on the PC. I have that on the PC, and I enjoy it, but that's one game I just can't get. It's a little too complicated for me. And I figured out a few things in there, but when it comes to the base running, even on the PC version, I have a hard time. I just do. It's, for me, APA Basic, Strat Basic, Pocket Pennant Run, Back to Basics. Those are and Steven Status Pro, I love them because they're so simple, and the inside pitch is a little bit more complex than I want in a baseball game. That's just me. But what I did play was fun, and I do like the computer version. Um, yeah, getting back to Fenner and the shootout thing in the playoffs. Sometimes I do that too. Is I'll just take a team and play the playoffs. I did that with the Minnesota North Stars, and I think I did it with, was it Appa or Hockey Bones? One of those two hockey games. I ended up playing the North Stars in '81. They actually upset the Bruins, and I think they went all the way to the finals that year. So I said, I'm going to play the North Stars all the way through. Nobody else but the North Stars. Well, Boston beat them in like 4 games. It wasn't even close. I think it was a best of 5, and I think Boston wiped them out. So it was a very quick project. So So the North Stars that went hot on that run in '81 weren't hot for me, you know. And 007 says I'm replaying last season. Okay, that should be fun. The only thing about the inside sports games, and a lot of people have talked about this, I like the football game. I really do. That's another project I got going on. I'm playing the 1991 season. I have it on my I got a little tablet upstairs that actually runs on. So I'm playing that upstairs, in bed once in a while. I don't think I've played it in about a year now, but last winter I was playing it, and I'm playing every game in 1991, and it's fun because I'm just clicking around. I get the little pen, and it clicks. You just click on it, and it does a nice job, And you can kind of, put it into play. And you can play a game in 5 or 10 minutes. It's really kind of fun. The only thing with the inside sports games, though, you have to play every game. You can't sim anything. So if you wanted to play a hockey season, you got to play every game. 1,400 games? It's like, so if you're going to play the entire baseball season, you're going to be playing every game if you want to get stats. That's the one thing. And when I talked to them about that, they said, nobody wants that. Nobody wants games simmed. I'm like, well, everyone I've talked to would like to play your game with one team and have everything else simmed. So I don't know who he's talking to and who I'm talking to, but everybody that I talk to says either A, I need that in the game to play more, or B, that's why I didn't buy the game because I don't want to play every game. And I see their point. I enjoy playing the games for the one-offs or the playoffs or the whole bit, but I see the point. You can't really do a long project with that because you'd have to play every game. So I ended up, I'm playing the Capitals in that, actually, the 74-75 Capitals. That's another project I got going on. I play the inside hockey game, inside the crease. But I'm just playing the Capitals, nobody else. And I'm trying to see how many wins they will get or not get when I play that. Again, I like to play the bad teams. And that's a fun game to play. And I said it before, if that game would sim, okay, if that game would sim the other games, so if I could say, like a lot of other games, okay, I'm going to play this game and sim the rest, that would be my go-to PC hockey game because I think it's an in-depth game. I think it plays fairly quick for the amount of stats it gives you. It's really fun to play, and that would be my go-to game, except I don't want to play every game. So, and let me see here. 007 says, I just need to learn how to import the photos into the game. I believe, I haven't done that in a while, you just need to put the photos into a folder. And I don't know if it finds them automatically or if you'd have to go and click on each player and click on the photo. I'm not sure how that game does it. I was able to put the logos in, and I just dumped the logos in a folder, and then when you go into edit the team, that's when you can click on the image of the logo, rather. And I did that with the football and the baseball. But as far as the player photos, that I don't know. I don't know if you just drop them in or not. I haven't played that in a while. I think I have photos in that for baseball. I think I do. Fenner says, I played a one-off at 1985 North Stars and Shootout. The Flyer beat them 3-2. Yeah, I love the one-offs. They're so fun. And then he says he wants the Kraken team from this year, so I can't wait till the season is available. Yeah, usually he puts them out right about the beginning of May, so he's a little bit late getting out this season. I haven't talked to John in a long time either, so I'm kind of hoping he'll get the new season out for Shootout. I was pretty excited to play it, not so much anymore. I mean, I'm not real thrilled about the Final Four, to tell you the truth. I mean, Dallas, Vegas doesn't excite me. Florida, Carolina doesn't excite me. And it's like, who's the NHL going to market to? that's the thing. I mean, really, who are they going to market to? So, but anyway, so I just want to talk a little bit about that, planning versus playing, and I just want to know your thoughts on that. I'll wrap this up here in a couple of minutes so I can. I was going to go play something tonight, but I thought I'd come on and just say hi to everybody. I got to edit the show too. I need to get the podcast out, the audio version of the interview we did with Marco on Friday night. That will be the podcast this week. Terrific show on Friday. So I'll get that out hopefully tonight in the audio version. And then I don't know what the topic is next week. I have to talk to Ron about what we're going to talk about next week. But yeah, so planning versus playing. Let me know what you think. Do you have as much fun planning out your next project as you do playing your project? And I'm interested to see your thoughts on that, because it's always fun. And when I'm at the rink, when I'm on some nights I'm scorekeeping, and it's just kind of easy as long as there's not a lot of penalties and not a lot of crap going on. I can just kind of space out at the rink, and I'm on my iPad and I'm on the reference sites or YouTube or whatever, and I'm trying, and I get ideas. I write down my ideas for what I want to do for a project or what might be fun, or sometimes I see a picture on Facebook of a player. I'm like, I forgot about that guy. I should go play a couple games with that guy. So I'll write that down as well. So I tend to, have fun because I can't play while I'm there, but I can absolutely plan out what I want to do, and that's what makes it fun anyway. Yeah, that episode with Marco was great. Yeah, it was. It really was. So, and 007 says he likes planning and playing. He says both are fun. Yeah, and that's kind of the, I don't want to say a side effects that make it sound bad, but that's kind of the bonus of what we do. Is playing the game is fun, but planning out what you're going to play next is fun too. And sometimes, you ever done this? And I'll sign off with this. Have you ever been playing a game, right? So you're playing a game, and then all of a sudden, while you're playing a game, you have an idea for another project. And you feel like you're cheating on the project on the table because you're like, I'm having fun, but I can't wait to go do this other thing. And I've done that so many times where I'm playing a project, and I'm having fun with it, but then it sparks something else. It's like, okay, I need to go do this next. I really do. So that's one thing I was thinking about as well. And Fenner says, planning for me on what games to get. Yeah, well, that's one thing we didn't talk about here. I guess I could throw this in at the end. I'm watching playthroughs on a lot of games. I do that too. I look at games, and it's like, I don't have this game, or, maybe say APBA Baseball. I don't have the master version, so I watched some videos on that. I don't think it's for me, but I did watch some videos on it. I'm interested to see ASG on the table golf versus APBA golf. I seen a Replay Gamer playing the ASG, and he really likes it, but he hasn't played the APBA golf. So I'm interested to know, and I'm going to wait for the next sale to get it on the tabletop. I'm interested to know which one is easier and funner. And one might be easier, and one might be funner. Because the APBA golf is very fun, but you really got to kind of muck through the weeds and figure out how you want to play that game, because there's so many different rules and options and variables in that game. And I'm wondering what ASG offers. I have it on the computer, which is kind of fun. But again, I talked about this before, that it rolls a couple of dice off to the side, and you don't know what's going on. Whereas the tabletop game, when you roll the dice, you get the chart, you know exactly what's going on. And that's what I like about the tabletop games, is you're in control and you get to figure it out. Instead of the computer saying, yeah, if you want to roll dice, that's fine, but we're going to take care of everything. No, I don't like that so much either. I want to contribute to the game. So I do watch videos too, and I'm going to pick up the ASG Golf on the next time they have a sale or something like that. Hopefully they'll have like a July 4th sale or a flash summer sale, and I'll pick up the game and a couple courses and have a nice side-by-side versus APBA. I'm probably going to pick up the APBA Par 3. Excuse me. They have a Par 3 course I'll probably pick up, and I might get the Duffers, the amateur set. Because those guys are really bad. So it might be kind of fun to play some amateurs on there as well. And David C. stops by, and he says, great discussion. He's taking a break from traditional sports and playing a squared circle wrestling sim game. Let me know how that is. Like I say, let me know how that is, because I've played some wrestling games that are kind of fun. But there's probably not like another 6 or 7 wrestling games that I haven't played that might be kind of fun. 007 says, yeah, all the time. He has that as well, what we were talking about. Yep. History Maker Golf with Al Red Sox fan, look cool and simple. Yeah, History Maker Golf is. History Maker Golf is. The confusing part about History Maker Golf is the chips. You have the blue chips and the red chips. And that's where I got really confused. The game itself is simple, but the chips are such a huge part of the game. You play a chip to get a bonus. You play a chip to make a putt easier. The chip rules on when you can play a chip and when you can get a chip. To me, I never fully grasped that. So that's the one thing about that game that I never got right, was playing a chip and winning a chip and that stuff there. I never got it right. And so every time I played, I had a lot of fun with it, but I could never figure out that. So that's the one we talk about, obstacles. Sometimes that's why I don't pull that out, because it's like, oh, yeah, I got to try to remember what to do with the chips. I just haven't got that down pat yet, so to speak. So for me, it's a fun game. I don't play it quite as much because of that little obstacle there. But if I want to play a tournament, that's definitely the way to go. It's a long tournament, but it is so much fun. And I know Al's kind of playing his own little way there, but so you don't need to do a whole tournament. You can just play whoever you want to do. He was doing an elimination. That was kind of fun. That might be something to do with APRA as well, as an elimination tournament, 007 says, I love ASG Golf. I have the next orders in the queue already. Yeah. And John says ASG on the computer is really good. ASG on the computer is really good, except it's, again, you roll the red and the white dice, and then the computer rolls the blue and the green, and you don't know what the hell's going on. That's the thing that bugs me about it. It's this close to being awesome, but it's just good because I don't know what it's doing. What is the blue die? When you play in the tabletop, you roll the blue die, and that's your left and your right. Understandable. What the hell's the green die for? It doesn't tell you. It just, trust us. We're going to roll the green die, and we're going to finish the shot for you. Doesn't really work for me. I enjoy the game. I love how you can play the quick play course right there. Calls up the card. You roll the dice for that, and you get your quick play score. That is fun. I've done that, and I really enjoy that. You're not doing shot by shot. It's just a one-shot roll for the hole. But that's enjoyable because you can get through a lot of golfers in a hurry. I don't like the idea that it rolls a couple of dice, and you don't know, you can't figure it out. You roll the die, you look, you get the number like you do with APRA Golf. You have an idea what's going to happen, but the computer figures out the rest of it. And to me, that's not really fun. It defeats the purpose of when I play. You guys know, when I roll dice in a computer game, I try to guess what's going to happen because I want to know what's going to happen. And if I'm wrong, I want to know why I'm wrong. And if I don't know why I'm wrong, and there's another golf game that I feel the same way about, when I don't know why I'm wrong, it makes it really, really not fun. P-Jet stops by here as well. I'm buying a current hockey season for the first time since 1998. Well, hang on a sec here. There we go. You want those Bruins to compete against other great teams. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the Bruins. I was so jazzed. I was gonna buy that 22-23 season in every game I got. I don't care what it cost me. I was gonna get them. I was gonna get the best cards in the whole bit if they won the Stanley Cup, because that would have been a season for me for memories. Yeah, it's a season for memories, but for all the wrong reasons now, and I'm just not ready to play that. And quite honestly, the 4 teams that are remaining, couldn't tell you anybody on the Stars. Couldn't tell you anybody on Vegas aside from Marcha Show or whatever his name is. Carolina, don't know a single guy. And Florida, aside from Kachuk and the goalie Vaboski or something like that, I don't even know his name. I don't know anybody. I could probably name 3 guys in the final 4 teams in hockey right now. Whereas if Edmonton got by, or Toronto, or Boston, I know all those guys. Austin Matthews, that would have been great to have him in the Stanley Cup Finals. Even the Oilers, who I can't stand because they got 100 first-round draft picks and still can't make the playoffs. 2 best guys in the league. Can't make it out of the second round. Boston Bruins, best team in 100 years in the NHL. Can't get out of the first round. So this year's playoffs, and I challenge anybody to get the 22-23 season, and get out of the first round with the Florida Panthers. Probably ain't going to happen, right? Probably ain't going to happen. Steeler fan comes by. Hi, Steeler fan. 007. Yeah, for my replays for ASG Golf, when I get everything, I'm going to be using the quick play and then show off only 4 golfers per round. That's the way to do it. The quick play is fun, though, because you do roll the dice and you just follow, and it does all the calculations for you, and there's no extra dice rolls in a quick play. You roll, you look, you get it, and then it does it automatically, but it does go to a chart. So I think when I get the print version, I'll have that chart handy so I can see what it's going to be. That's the way to go. It really is. And in fact, in a sneaky kind of way, I thought about using the ASG to keep the stats for APA golf. So in other words, if I wanted to play one player in a tournament, I just roll the dice quick play in ASG, and then when my golfer comes up, I play it in APA, and then I try to figure out what that score would be and manipulate the dice to give me that score. And I think I could probably do that. So in other words, if I get a 4, then I figure out what roll it would be on the quick play to give me the 4 and just enter that dice. And so that's a way I could keep stats for my golfer, by playing APA. I thought about that. Let me see here. And Glenn is here. I feel the same way with Stone Cold Hockey. Don't like the computer rolls for the shooter and the assist guys. Honestly, Glenn, that's one thing that Ron and I pushed for real hard. And without bragging, when we come on board to test that game, we completely changed how it looked and how it felt. It wasn't really a hockey game. It was kind of a generic sports game. And we got there, and I just hammered them every day with, you got to do this, you got to do that. And like, oh, we can't. No, you got to do this. It is not hockey if this is how it looks. And I got it to look like a hockey game. So I'm pretty proud of myself, how hard I hit them with that. And I'm pretty proud of how that game come out. One thing we didn't get, there was only a couple things that we asked for that we didn't get. And one of them was to roll our dice to get the player, the goal scorer and the players. They said, can't do it, not going to do it. It's just going to be too much. I don't know if it wasn't possible or too much work. At least, though, what we did get out of that, the bargaining that we got out of that was the game would identify the shooter before the shot was taken. So as you know, when you play the computer game, okay, this team controls the puck. It'll put up the name of the guy who's going to get the scoring chances. Guy Lafleur, Cam Neely, whoever it is. You'll see, that's the guy that could potentially score the goal. So at least we got that. But yeah, that's why I almost prefer the cards and dice version of that, because it's a quick game to play. It's a fun game to play. It's an easy game to play. And the idea that, okay, scoring chance for, whoever, the Rangers, right? I'm going to roll the dice. Who's getting a scoring chance? That's what makes it fun. And that's what makes shootout fun, is you get a scoring chance. Who's getting that chance? And that's the one thing that Stone Cold Hockey PC takes away from you is the ability for you to roll and get that guy. So I agree with that. We push for that real hard. And the best we could get is just the computer putting the guy up. Because before, it wouldn't tell you. It'd just be scoring chance, goal, and you'd have to wait for the box score to come up to see who got the goal. And I was like, that is so anticlimactic. And I think that's the first thing that we suggested in the game and in the tabletop game. And they added that in as an optional rule. As an optional rule, if you want to figure out who's going to take the shot, roll for that first, and then figure out what's going to happen on the play. So it's an optional rule in the tabletop, but in the computer game it's not there. But we did push for it. But still, it's okay. I find that, when I play that on the computer, it's okay that the computer does it. It does save a little bit of time, even though it's not quite 100% authentic. Let's just say that. P-Jet back here, and he says, I really only care about regular season results since that's what the game cards are based on in all sports. Yeah, that's a good point, too, is when you're planning a project that if you want to play the playoffs, which most of us do, again, you get that crazy team like the Florida Panthers that gets hot at the right time. I don't think anybody's going to get them to go anywhere next year. I just don't. And that's the sad thing about it, is that it is because it's based off the regular season, you almost got to play the regular season to get any kind of, I hate to use the word accuracy because I hate that word when it comes to tabletop games. But if you want something close, you almost have to do the regular season. Because, again, once you get into the playoffs, I know the playoff teams are based off the regular season teams, but I think you're right that it's almost like the USA Olympic team, 1980 USA. I mean, how many people have realistically got them to win that tournament? Because they were just not good compared to the Russians. And they got hot. They put it together, the intangibles. And that's one thing cards and dice can't do is intangibles. And so, yeah, when you get into the playoffs and you get a hot goalie or an injured goalie or, an injured player or whatever, something happens, it just playoffs are a different animal than the regular season. And so, yeah, so I see your point with that, why you'd want to play the regular season versus the playoffs. I think it was Roberto Chavini that has got a football game. I think it was like Mud to Glory or something like that. And I was playing the Super Bowls with that, and that was getting weird results. And he said, no. He goes, I have a whole different set of ratings for playoffs. And then once I started using those ratings, the Super Bowls matchups were better. So he kind of did both. He did a regular season, and he did a playoff. I don't think any company's going to do that, so to speak, but it would make sense because, if you get into the playoffs, it's kind of like, well, it's these 8 teams or 16 teams or whatever it is. We need to rate them on how they did in the playoffs. But with such a smaller sample size, it's probably really, really difficult to do that. Let's see. Where's Sean over here? Sean says, hello, Dave and chat. Thanks to you and Ron for the Stone Cold Hockey input. It is a great game. Yes, Stone Cold Hockey is a fantastic game. In fact, I need to pull that out and play it again. I got to print out a couple of seasons still. I think I have the PDFs for some seasons that I need to print out so I can play some more. That is such an enjoyable game to play in the tabletop. It really is. I'm surprised at how good it is. The first time we played it was like, wow, this is really, really fun. It really is. Excuse me again. And let's see, where are we here? Andrew jumps in and says, I enjoy Stone Cold Hockey. Thanks for Ron and myself testing it. Yeah, I was glad he asked us to. We really did. We really kind of gave some serious suggestions to that game. And I think the computer game come out fantastic. I really do. The main reason I want to replay last season for baseball to see if the Phillies could have won the World Series. That's why we play. That's why we plan, and that's why we play, is to see what would happen. PJet says, Hockey Blast has a fix for that. Teams that went far in the playoffs despite mediocre regular season record, you can give their players the star rating in the playoffs. Okay. That's actually a good idea. Yep. I like that. 007 says, from watching your videos and streams, you have opened me up to new gaming experience. Well, I appreciate that. And I'm just kind of paying it forward because so many people ahead of me did videos, and I watched those games. There's some people that don't do videos anymore that were totally inspirational to me, 4 or 5 years ago. And they showed off how to play games. For example, Momentum Football. I watched somebody play that. And I was like, wow, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have seen the game. So I like to just pay it forward. So if I have a game that I like, or even if a game I don't like, I like to show it. At least because this is such a different, tabletop gaming is so different than the PC stuff, right? Even the PC stuff will show off. I like to show the game off, even if I don't play it correctly or if I make a mistake or whatever, which I usually do. What I say is, look, I want to give you an idea how this game is played. So if you're looking at game whatever, I say, I want to play Super Duper Baseball, right? I've never seen Super Duper Baseball. Okay, fine. I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to show it for you. I'm going to give you an idea how it goes. And that way there, at least you see if you like it or not. And I did that with so many games. There's been a couple of games I've seen videos for, and it's like, yeah, not for me. And then I've seen some games that are like, that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to try it. So I've been, I'm just paying it forward because so many people in the past did videos to help me. So I think that's what I try to do, is show games off so you guys can see it. And then, we have the whole podcast to talk about it as well. And then we include a lot of listener feedback. Don't get me wrong. When you guys speak up about something, that usually makes the show, and we talk about that. Let's see. PJet back again. He goes, I replayed the 74-75 Flyers with Stone Cold. They scored more and allowed fewer goals, but was disappointed by the lack of extreme scores like the typical 70s hockey. Had so many 4-2 game scores. Okay. Well, that might be fair. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of, we didn't get a lot of crazy games either. Although, to be fair, I played the Mickey Mouse game in shootout hockey, the Oilers and the Devils, right? I played that game. That was, 13-5 or something like that, Edmonton. Do you know when I played that, I only played it the one time, but when I played that with shootout, the Devils were winning that game in the second period. There's no way they should have hung with the Oilers. I've watched that game on YouTube, and the Oilers, Gretzky was out there with a minute left scoring goals. That was just stupid why they did that. They were just piling up his points that night. New Jersey had given up. They wanted to go home, and there's Gretzky out there scoring, goals late in the third to pad his stats. That was asinine, But anyway, in shootout, they had a lead. I don't know if it was 3-2 or 4-3 or whatever it was, but they were beating the Oilers in the second period. The Oilers came back and probably won like 6-3 or 7-3 or something like that, but they did not get 13-5. So it's really hard to get those crazy games. Like if you go to Hockey Reference and you look, I always like to go to a season and you click on the full schedule and you click on goals for or whatever it is. Like when it has all the scores, there's one column you click on and it shows you the most goals scored in the game all the way down to the fewest. And so you occasionally see the 11 or the 10 goal game or 9 goal game or something like that. Those are so hard to get when you play tabletop. It's nearly impossible to get 9 or 10 goals. Over 10's really tough in a tabletop game, no matter who you play. It's really tough to get that to happen. So I think you just kind of take the average and it kind of washes out. I think maybe that's how we can kind of look at it here. So again, we're talking planning versus playing. So when you plan out a project, can it be as fun as actually playing the project? Now, planning is easier than playing, because when you play, it takes a lot more time and setup and the whole bit, but anybody can plan a project. Let's just face it. I probably planned out 5 or 6 more projects just talking to you guys here tonight, talking about this team. Do I want to go try to do the Flyer replay like P-Jet was doing? Do I want to see how the Bruins would do against teams from the past? So again, just talking that we've had fun tonight planning our project versus playing. So something to keep in mind there is if you like that stuff there. But I'm going to jump out here. I'm thinking, speaking about playing, I need to edit the podcast, and I'm going to go play something myself. I'm not sure what it's going to be. But anyway, let me know what you think. Planning versus playing. Can you have as much fun planning a project as you can playing a project? And what are some of the fun things about planning out a project? So I'm Dave from Studio B, and we'll talk to everybody later. This week, after Tuesday, I kind of have a slow work week, so if all goes well, I'm going to hopefully be playing a whole bunch of games and streaming a whole bunch of games here, showing off a bunch of different games and having some fun. So this could be a fun week for me. Then again, when I usually plan a week like this, it never goes as planned. So we'll see if I can make that happen. But anyway, thanks for tuning in tonight, and let me know your thoughts on planning versus playing. Bye-bye.